If you're a woman over 35 and fat loss feels like trying to push a wheelbarrow full of bricks uphill in flip-flops during a thunderstorm, you are not crazy. You're also not broken. You're just stuck in a cycle that was never designed for your life, your hormones, or your reality. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 fat loss mistakes sabotaging women over 35, and more importantly, how to get real results without giving up carbs, wine, or your will to live. I'm Maverick Willett, women's transformation coach and co-founder of Elev8 Coaching, where my wife Kate and I help women over 35 lose 25 plus pounds, reshape their body, and actually keep the results, even with PCOS, menopause, insulin resistance, and full-time chaos. We've coached thousands of women through what we call our 4-phase method, which works even when everything else has failed. If you're confused, exhausted, and ready for a system that finally makes sense, keep watching. Mistake number 1, trying to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. This is the biggest misunderstanding I see, especially with women coming off of chronic dieting. The truth is, your body can't efficiently both burn fat and build muscle simultaneously. That's like trying to save money while renovating your house. It just doesn't work well. That's why our clients don't just diet, they follow our proven 4-phase method. Phase 1 is fat loss. We create a controlled calorie deficit with high protein intake and strength training. Not 1,200 calories, not endless cardio, no kale and sadness, a deficit you can actually live with. Phase 2 is the lean build. Here's the part most women skip on purpose because they're terrified of gaining weight. But in this phase, we strategically increase calories. Yes, eat more to build lean muscle, which boosts the metabolism and shapes the body. Your glutes, arms, core, all the good stuff happens here. Phase 3 is the post-build cut or mini cut. Now that your metabolism is humming and you've got lean mass, we cut again, this time more effectively, because your body is now primed to burn fat, not hold on to it. You lose a lot faster and way more visibly during this phase. Phase 4, what you really need long-term, intuitive eating and self-sufficiency. Here's where we guide you into long-term sustainability. No more tracking every grape, no more fear of vacation. You learn how to listen to your body, honor hunger, and maintain your results like a damn adult without obsessing. Trying to do all 4 of those things at once, that's why you feel stuck. That's why you plateau. That's why you keep starting over. Mistake number 2, eating too little for way too long. If you've been living on 1,200 calories a day and wonder why your fat's not budging, it's like expecting your phone to work all day after a 2% charge. What chronic undereating does is simple. It tanks your thyroid, especially if you're already perimenopausal. It elevates stress hormones like cortisol, which can impact hunger hormones and sleep. It downregulates leptin, the satiety hormone, which makes you feel full, and upregulates ghrelin, the hunger hormone, which means appetite signals get wonky. And worst of all, it brings down your basal metabolic rate to a crawl. The result? You might lose 3 pounds, but then gain back 7. That's why the build phase is so important before we pursue fat loss. We rebuild metabolic capacity so your body feels safe enough to let go of fat. A 2014 study demonstrated that strategic reverse dieting can rebuild your basal metabolic rate and restore energy balance. That's why we have a phase 2. During the build phase, we actually have clients that lose inches despite eating more. They regain energy, reduce cravings, and sleep better just from eating more food and more nutrients. Fat loss doesn't start with restriction, it starts with healing. Mistake number 3, obsessing over the scale instead of recomposition. Let me say this loud enough for the scale-obsessed folks in the back. Weight loss is not fat loss. If you've been losing weight fast only to look like a smaller, mushier version of yourself, you didn't lose fat. You lost water, glycogen, and likely muscle. Our clients, some of them gain weight on the scale, but drop 2 to 3 dress sizes because they're recomposing, gaining lean muscle while losing body fat. Here's what we track instead as metrics of progress: waist circumference measurements, progress photos, strength markers, energy, mood, cravings, and sleep. If all those are improving but the scale's not moving, you're winning. Stop letting a number dictate your self-worth. The scale is a tool, not a moral compass. Mistake number 4, trying to do all of it alone. This one's personal because 9 out of 10 women who apply to Elev8 Coaching say, I know what to do, I just don't do it. That's not a knowledge problem. That's a capacity and consistency problem. You've got kids, a full-time job, aging parents, hormones that feel like a roulette wheel, and you're trying to white knuckle your way through this. But what happens when you hit a weekend or travel or a bad day? day. You go off plan, you feel like a failure, start over Monday. That's where we come in. Kate helps you overcome the emotional eating, perfectionism, and self-sabotage that no meal plan can fix. I help you implement the exact strategy that your body needs to lose fat, build muscle, and finally see the change in the mirror. You don't need motivation, you need a method and support to actually follow through on it. Any of these mistakes hit home. If you've done the restrictive diets, bought the detoxes, hired coaches who gave you cookie cutter plans and no support, it's not your fault. But you do need to do something different if you want a different result. Elev8 Coaching is that different. Personalized strategy, real-time support from all of our team, including Kate and I, a community of women just like you, a phase-by-phase system that works even with PCOS, menopause, or insulin resistance. We're not here to shrink you. We're here to build your confidence, your muscle, your metabolism, and most importantly, your ability to keep results forever. And if that sounds like what you've been looking for, click the link below and apply. We read every application personally. And if you want to see how our 4-phase method works in full detail, watch this video next. It breaks down each step we guide our clients through, from the first pound lost to long-term freedom. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined. You've just been trying to do this with the wrong tools. Let's fix that.